Well, more than 700,000 matriculants are writing their final exams today. They begin today. And writing matric exams is stressful at the best of times, but what about those who are confronted with daily violence? Well, the Cape Flats is a case in point. It's one of the most violent areas in the country. And eNCA's Monique Mortlock is checking how pupils are coping in different areas on the Cape Flats. And Monique, it's a distant memory for me, matric exams, but when I do think about it, there is this sense of the stress and the finality of, the last exam before you leave school and head off into the big wide world. Of course, that's compounded when you live in an area like Lavender Hill.
Yes, Michelle, 100% correct. And to chat to us more about some of those challenges that learners at the school like Lavender Hill High School faces, I'm chatting to Principal Ms. Steyn. Just tell us, what are some of the challenges that learners face on a daily basis besides their studies?
Yes, the gangsterism in the area, shooting taking place, it just comes up any time of the day, morning, afternoon, at night. It's a struggle for them. I can just imagine being in this area, sitting with the books at night and bullets going off around it, and you need to focus on getting yourself prepared for the matric exams.
And speaking of the exams, how did today go? We have the exam coordinator behind me, but I'll find out from you how did today go?
Yes, I just spoke to the learners now, and they said it went well. It was actually a good paper, so that's good news for us as educators of the school.
My final question, what are some of the security measures? You mentioned SAPs are always quite helpful. What are some of those security measures to ensure that learners are safe this time of the year?
So what we normally do, we contact SAPs before the exams. They actually come to school to get the timetable. They will be out in the community when the kids must come to school to come and write. Even if it's in the afternoon, they know the times. In the afternoon, they'll be back at school to see that the learners get safe at home. At school itself, we as educators are available. The school is available for them to come and study if it's impossible to study at home. We give them that support. We feed them in the morning before every exam. They get some porridge just to set them off for the day.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to be hearing from the learners. I have some of the head prefects of the school with me. Kayleen, I'll start with you first. How was today's paper?
So today's paper was a bit challenging, but I'm proud to say that I haven't left out any of the answers. So it was good, but also a bit challenging in a way.
And we were speaking about some of the challenges in the area. Luko, I'll start with you. Issues in the area of gang violence, shootings, does that have any impact on your studying?
Sometimes it starts when the person have to walk to school, and sometimes you feel the pressure of walking through the gangsters and being scared and terrified when you get to school. Most of the times you become blank on the exam time, but when you believe in yourself mostly. So by studying and like the teachers have helped us a lot to come and to the extra classes. In those extra classes, those are the classes that actually helped us, because, for example, if I stayed at home, that I was scared of gangsters and all walking through the gangster riddles. When it was time to come to school, I was going to be blank, if you understand what I mean. There wouldn't be like anything to write on the exam paper. So it was actually a better case to come here and do the extra classes, so that even though you're terrified about most of the things that happen, at least you know something, so that the paper can't be that challenging, if you understand.
My final question for you, Tyreek. How was today's paper? Do you feel you are prepared, and has the violence in the area, shootings at all, played any impact on your studying preparations?
Today's paper was good because I studied, but because of the gangsterism and stuff, most of the kids can't study, and the environment isn't good for them to come to school. But if you study, and it will be safe for you to come to school because the police is patrolling, then you will succeed.
Thank you so much. And then you heard it from the learners themselves. Dedicated staff, a dedicated acting principal and dedicated learners have all played a part in getting the matriculants to where they are. The pass rate last year was 78%, and when I spoke to acting principal Steyn earlier, she said that they are hopeful that they will push that up even higher to get it to even above 80%, and with the help of SAPs, law enforcement in the area, they are hopeful that they will be able to ensure the learners' safety and get them through this last phase of their schooling career.
Well, all the absolute best to them as they continue with the rest of their exams. Thanks very much for that, Monique Mortlock.